Well, you know, when you do see them, these are dead men's tools, aren't they? These poor buggers are well and gone and buried, possibly. So I may have found a uncle, possibly, of mine. Yeah, because yeah, my uncle must have said, well, if I've got one, I may as well buy another. So there's one that says gap, spanner with a gap on it, look, and another spanner with a gap on it. And over here, let's turn them around, look. This one says something gap, and that says something gap. So he might be long gone, dead and buried, but he may have been a long lost uncle of mine, mightn't he? Maybe these were meant to come here for a reason. So if you've got one, you have to have two. Yeah. These, I feel you, uncle. I am getting your drift, uncle. These may have belonged to a long lost uncle of mine. Who knows? Yeah, dead men's sheds. Very, very interesting. So we're just going through what we had yesterday. And if you noticed, did you notice there was one Super Slim in there, wasn't there? So that's come out of the vinegar and we've wire brushed it. So now we can, Super Slim, made in England, look. So that will go with this Super Slim, and this Super Slim, and this Super Slim, and this Super Slim, and this Super Slim. So they're all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had 7 Super Slims. Now I've got 8 Super Slims. 3/4 to 3/4. I haven't got one of these, have I? No. Hey, do you know what? That nearly makes a set, doesn't it? Which way do they go? Right there. Look. So if you keep collecting them, put that on there. That's not the same, is it? Might be. All of a sudden, you might have a whole set, and then they'll be worth more valuable. So you can do that. Add, keep picking them up, keep cleaning them, putting them in stores, and each one you add might double it, or you might have a double, or you might even, oh, I haven't got that one. That will complete the set, Not necessarily for a collector, if you're a collector, for you as a collector, but for you as a reseller in another 10 years, 15 years, whatever. So we got this out here, and this is gorgeous. Wow, this is. Now, I've got it. I can't see a name. I don't know what it is. I don't know a hell of a lot about it. But obviously, being a vintage tool freak, watching eBay, I will see an ad for one somewhere, so that will tell me the name. Then, now I know the name, I can go off and I can research it in the books and find a date on it and do all of that. So I'll learn more about that, because now I've got one, I will learn, won't I? And if I wanted to, I could clean this up with a flap disc, make it look nicer than what it should be coming out of the factory. It's a really little pleasant wrench, because this rounded edge, it's really nice in the hand. I can imagine using that day in and day out, simply because it's really, some tools are quite difficult or quite uncomfortable to hold, but I can imagine working with this lovely round top here all day. So that is a surprising little treat. So you might sell it. So let's see. Let's say you find one. Let's say it's worth, I don't know, 5 or 10 quid now. So let's say in another 10 years, that might be worth 20 quid, say. Whatever 20 quid's are going to be worth in 10 years. Not a lot. But if I'm a retired old bloke and it's time to back out of the tools and you want to sell them, and you see one on eBay or the equivalent eBay then, because everything changes, and you see somebody selling one for 25 quid, you can put yours on for 20 and you know you've got a sale. Or if you see one that's been sold for 20 quid, you can say, well, I can put this on for 15 quid, I know it's going to go. Yeah. And you bought it lots of years previous, and it, so that will easily pay for the whole box, won't it? And all the others will add to and in the collection. And now it's here. Now I've paid for it. Like I say, I'm too mean to drink. I'm too mean to smoke because you get nothing for your money. But we can have these, enjoy them, discover more about them, learn their name, learn how old they are, you know, see if there's a bigger one and a smaller one. Do they come in a set? You know, somebody screaming out for that. Somebody can't find that completed set somewhere. Anyway. And anyway, they're going to go in the drawer. They're not going to cost me nothing to keep. And when I'm retired, or when I get a bit skint when I'm retired, I can say, come on then, let's put a few of these for sale. And it might be enough to pay the gas bill. It might be enough to put fuel in the tank. It might be enough to put food in your belly. Who knows where we're going to be in 10 or 20 years time. But we know it's virtually cost us nothing, and it's just pure profit when we do sell them. Yeah, so that's the thinking anyway, because this, you know, the snail, that, wow, you know, you pick them up where you can, and when it's time to sell them, because you've kept them for that long in this beautiful condition, you should. The plan is you make a profit. Who knows? There's bound to be other nutters out there love collecting vintage tools. That's all I've got to say on the subject. So, do you remember these? These were solid and rusty. Stuck them in the vinegar. There's no name on them, but they've become from a pair of rusty pliers that you wouldn't hardly want to pay 50p for them, to something you could throw into a £1 bucket, or you could even throw them into a £1.50 or a £2 bucket, and the buyer might say to you, £2, it's a bit much for that, isn't it? And you can say, well, look, first of all, they're vintage, so it's made of really good metal, and they are some sort of a quality one, because look, they've got a grip behind them, so they're not the cheap and nasty Chinesium stuff made of cheese. You're buying a vintage, good quality metal, because that's what they were of that age. You can see that it's vintage. Just a pair of pliers to throw on your bench to use whenever you want, sir. So they were worth £2, aren't they? And the bloke might say, oh, go on then, I'll give you £2 for them. It's nearly paid for your whole box, hasn't it? Wow. Raper, yeah, common as muck. But no, a Gordino, Georgie. Anyway, that it's got a number, that means it's some sort of collection, and you know, it's a popular size, so they go missing, they go. So if you wanted to complete your set, and this was the one that was going to complete your set, but you needed the right name and you needed the right number, all of a sudden this has made it worth. It was a rusty old spanner, now it's not so rusty, identifiable, which again, with a name and a number, puts value into it, doesn't it? Puts value into it. And wow, this one slipped us by. Look at this one. This is an Eagle brand, British made. So that will go. We've just been in the back with the tools, haven't we? So that will add to the Eagle brand in the cupboards in the back there. So we're going to go live and at the scene with these. This was rusty, put it in the vinegar. It sort of began to show us a name to work on, so we'll clean that and we'll find a name. I don't know what it would be, but at least if it's got a name you can put it in the internet and you can possibly see where it is and what it was. It identifies it, makes it worth money. This one, at the moment, the size is beginning to come out, which is there. I sort of recognise this, but I don't know if there's a name or whatever. So there's no, at the moment there's nothing showing, nothing obvious showing. So this is why I enjoy the wire brush, because the wire brush will reveal all. So let's go and do these two. Well, here's something different. It's got the size, right, which is AF, I suppose, SAF, whatever that is, SAE. But I've never seen a spanner with gap written on it. Something gap. There's no name on it. Again, look, something gap. That's an interesting number. But again, it's good metal, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe a blacksmithing type person would want to, or you might want to try and make it glow red and bash it about and turn it into something else. Maybe a knife or something, or, you know, some other sort of tool. If you were a blacksmith person, you can see, you know, you'd want to warm that up and bash it and turn it into something else possibly. And you know you're buying quality vintage metal. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? If you wanted to make a rod, even if you had to cut that end off and round it and cut this end off and round it because you wanted to make a link, well, at least you know you've got a damn good link and that ink would never break. You can do what you want with these. Yeah, you can do what you want for these. If I said to you right now, this minute, oh damn, this gear change is broken, it wasn't strong enough, go and find me a thick piece of metal like that, a good quality thick piece of metal in there, so that we can drill a hole here and drill a hole there and make that link unbreakable so it doesn't break again. Well, here is your candidate, isn't it? Just got to think outside the box. Yeah. So we don't know what it is. Some sort of tool. It could be some sort of you see them on the end of the grindets in it. That's a key to something, isn't it? Something small. But because it's got a name, TDC, made in England, we can put that in the computer. We can put it on Google. We can put it on eBay, and it might just throw up the tool, and this is an attachment. So then all of a sudden, instead of it being this is for sale, what category, whatever, you could then say on your advert, we've got this attachment for this piece of equipment that you've found the name of. And it might mean the difference between if you've got a machine and it's not working because you haven't got the spanner for it, and the machine working because you have got a spanner. So you'd spend 2 or 3 quid buying that if it was exactly what you were looking for, and if you had described it exactly, found out what it was. So again, rusty piece of metal come in handy. If nothing else, it's a bracket for the spot lamps in it on the wing.